look at Del the baggies in there. Have Arsenal made any progress from last season?
Such a waste. I mean, really poor execution there from Arsenal. Really poor.
That is that, and Arsenal are out. What a terrible, terrible week for the Gunners.
Yeah, he's there, and he's not going to go away, certainly tonight. But I can guarantee you, by tomorrow, we are fully focused on Wolves, and everybody's lifted, because what we still have to play is beautiful.
Now, Arsenal fans, if you listen to this guy, Golson, you're horrible. It's purely aimed at Del and Benty. All right? As Ipswich stuff is aimed purely at producer Joe. It's Del who had to give me £50 of his hard-earned money. 50. Bear in mind, Del has never bought a drink for anyone, ever.
He was more devastated that you left it out during the meeting as you placed it firmly in front of his face.
On the table.
Yeah, it was
He's
good.
devastated, isn't he?
He looks so angry.
Yeah.
I wish everyone could see him. He looks spiteful. That's what he looks right now. He looks spiteful, yeah. Looks like he's going to do something to sabotage the show.
Imagine that. Well, his team did that yesterday. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta spoke following his side's 1-0 smashing defeat to Bayern Munich, which saw them crash out of the Champions League live on TalkSport last night. He actually made a few excuses for their horrific performance.
Well, we haven't played in the competition for 7 years. We haven't been in this position for 14 years. There is a reason for it, and we want to do everything fast forward, super quick in one season, and I thought we had the capacity and the quality to be in the semi-finals, because the margins have been very small. But those margins, some that are coming from something else that maybe we don't have yet, and we have to learn it.
What did you make of Mikel Arteta's team selection tactics, players, etc.?
I thought the left-back choice was very interesting. I think obviously brought Zinchenko in last year, and he went with Kyrgios in the first one, and then to not play either and go with Tomiyasu, I think that shows that he's clearly concerned about that left-hand side. That's an area that they're going to have to look at next year moving forward. I think most Arsenal fans are probably still calling out for that main striker, that nasty striker that's going to just go in there and score goals. But the team isn't too far away from being perfect, I suppose.
Perfect?
Isn't, though, is it? You've got wingers who are quick, direct.
You need a number 9, right?
Yeah.
They haven't got one. Kai Havertz is not the answer. Right? No, he's not, though, is he? He's not.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
You need cover for Saka, right?
Yep.
I think Saka's a brilliant player, but the last few weeks he looks so tired and there is no cover. He seems to be playing every single game.
So then what you're talking about is the bench getting better?
The bench is quite embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to move on from probably, just looking at it now, Nketiah, possibly Zinchenko, Partey's probably going to go, Smith Rowe would have to go, Vieira's going to have to go, El Neni, Reece Nelson. They were the ones on the bench to look at. So if they can get rid of those guys for a decent fee, you're probably only going to replace them with 2 others.
Okay.
So now your bench depth, your squad depth is going to go down, unless their youth team. I know they've got some good players in youth team, but unless they're really ready to come in,
a big step up,
and take them to the next level, which is going on to win the Premier League and then obviously getting further in the Champions League.
Let me ask you: are Arsenal any better off now? And they've had improvements. They've spent money, so they've spent round about 50 million on Timber, round about 65 million on Kai Havertz, and around about 100 million on Declan Rice.
Yep.
Okay. So we're talking over £200 million.
Yeah.
Are they that much better off than the Arsenal side we saw last season?
Yeah. In my opinion, yes.
I
think Declan has made them closer to competing. I think he's been in a wonderful position of just galvanising that team from a transitional point of view. From go forward, they're attacking. He allows them to play 1 in midfield whenever they're a more dominant team. Every time they normally go 2, like they did last night with Jorginho in there. He allows them to play 1 in the lesser games against lesser teams where you can go bang, go and get after it. I don't think they're that far away from being consistently title challengers and consistently in and around this position.
But
in
that's
the
not
Champions
enough,
League.
is it, for Arsenal to be a consistent title challenger?
It depends who you ask, because I would probably say, isn't this why you kind of got rid of Wenger at some point?
But Wenger was a winner.
Not towards the end.
No, but he was right.
Start.
I mean, he was revolutionary when he took over
Absolutely. But there was a big transitional period. And I think United are going through this to an extent now where you're always looking back at that iconic manager. You're messing around with a few different managers to try and find the one that fits while trying to get rid of some dead wood and then bring in new blood. Mm-hmm. You can't all be City. You can't all be City. And you can't all be Liverpool.
I think you have to be realistic, right, as a football fan. So
that sentence doesn't even go together. You know that better.
Good point. I'll never get those 5 seconds back. But with Arsenal, I sort of feel as though their fans think they're closer to success than they actually are. I think the fact that they got close to City last season but then fell off a cliff. Mm-hmm. And they improved what they did, right? Yeah. And it was around about this time last season, actually. Yep. Then they brought in players, right? And I totally agree with Declan Rice. I think he's a fantastic player, worth every penny. Yeah. Kai Havertz, I'm still not sold on, even more so than playing that false number 9. That's just.
I'm still not sold on the goalie.
Okay.
I'm not. I just don't see. I know they wanted to get rid of Ramsdale or have competition is the new word of saying we want to replace him. Yeah. But I don't think you replaced him with that standout goalie where you go, oh, that's my goalie for the next 4, 5, 6 years. Do you get what I mean? I think in a year's time we're going to be looking at Raya going, oh, is he the reason we can get over the line or not? Because he's made a few mistakes this year, similarly to what Ramsdale did. But
do they need a new goalkeeper then?
It's not an urgent matter, but when you look at the team and you start looking around, Timber coming back at right back, that will help with him and Ben White. Potentially could go to a 5. I think that's what the plan was last year, but obviously with injuries have changed it. They definitely need a left back. They need another option in there in midfield, and they definitely need a striker. And then they need some depth on the bench,
and maybe a goalkeeper. So when does challenging become winning? I mean, how many seasons do you say? And I know this is going to be aimed at Mikel Arteta because we're talking about Arsenal. Yeah. But any manager in this position that keeps effectively knocking on the door and keeps spending money, when does the board, when do the fans go, okay, we expect a return now?
Absolutely. And that's a question I posed to you off air, wasn't it? I think, obviously I know quite a few Arsenal fans. I've got quite a few in the household, unfortunately. But my question to them was, when does the expectation come? So the first year was a write-off halfway through the season. It is what it is. Year 1 was getting rid of your Ozils and people like that. Year 2 was so close last year. And year 3 seems to be a case of no one really had any expectation. So is next year the year? It's probably a question we should ask the listeners. I don't know what the expectation is, but I think he's moved them forward. I think they're in a situation now where they will expect to be in the top 3 for the next 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. And as you say, in the next 3 years, does he have to win 1? Because he can't just win the FA Cup, because that's what Wenger ended up getting the chop for that, because they were winning the FA Cup. We weren't good enough.
What I will say, right, and I'm going to be kind to Arsenal now, is that I do think winning breeds winning. And they have to win something, right? Now, the big prizes are, of course, the Premier League and the Champions League.
So do you think they have to go and buy from winning teams then? So they need to go and buy players. I know everyone's going to go, we bought Jesus and we bought Zinchenko. What I mean is, do you go and buy somebody that was pivotal? So like when a Gundogan became available, they should have went and got him, because he played a pivotal part in Man City.
Jorginho was a winner when they got him, right? Won the Euros.
Yeah, but...
No, but I'm just...
but not in the same way that they are trying to play football. So you need to be in a team that's similar, that is attack-minded. Yeah. I don't think the Italian team was attack-minded when they won the Euros.
No, of course not.
And then also, I think Jorginho's been good, by the way, this season. But I think like Gundogan was available. Riyad Mahrez was available. Yeah. You never see Arsenal in for those kind. But there might have been, but we never hear of them being in for those kind of people. No. And I think that's what's missing.
They went through a phase where they were buying like Willian, for argument's sake, right? Yeah. So they were buying players that you would assume were ready-made and come on the back of a successful spell.
But Willian is more to the Jesus Zinchenko type. What I'm saying by that is those people that played 5 games, missed 2, was on a bench for 4 games, and come back in. I'm on about people that were more starters over the course of their career at Man City, at these places that are used to winning. They start more and now they're coming out of the team because there's new blood and they're moving on. Do they need to go and get those players that are used to winning and have that expectation?
Well, I think what they need to do, personally, is find. I know it's easy to say it now, you see what Chelsea have got, but someone like Cole Palmer, right? You know, we know an exceptional talent. This is so easy for me to say in hindsight because no one else saw him, right? But I would imagine there are other fringe players at big clubs around Europe that can't get in that will be fresh and new to a team like Arsenal.
Absolutely.
But they need something, right? They need to push on.
I think they need. I think there needs to be a question, and this is probably more a question that we could probably ask Arteta if we ever got the interview. It's more, do you have to get a rogue player? So they had a natural goal scorer in Aubameyang, but didn't fit the ethos of what he wanted to do. Now you've got more players who have the ethos and know what they want, the hard work, etc. Do you have one maverick that is an outlier? That's where I go with it. I think an Ivan Toney, but I've been on record. I don't think Mikel wants Ivan. I don't think it's his type of player.
No, I agree.
So I could see Ivan go to Chelsea, for example.
Yeah.
But I think, is that the question now? Is it all about the philosophy of the team moving forward, or do you have enough people in the house now that you can go, right, we're going to kick on with another person so we can have an Ivan in there?
Let me ask you this. We're going to take calls in it, right? So just a couple of yes or no questions.
Yeah.
Are Arsenal moving forward under Arteta?
Yes.
Will Arsenal win the Premier League or the Champions League under Arteta?
Maybe.
Okay, that's not a yes or no, is it?
Because, well, Klopp's moving on. If Pep decides in a couple of years he's moving on, then yes. So there's a few moving pieces.
You think he's the right man for the job?
Yeah, and as you know, mate, when I say things, that they get pulled back up 2-3 years down the line. So just as of right now, I'm not sure.
Talk Sport Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the Talk Sport app and on your smart speaker. Talk Sport.
Yeah, it was a bad night for the English teams in Europe as Arsenal and Man City both crashed out of the Champions League. It was, of course, live on TalkSport. Have the Premier League run their players into the ground, though?
And that is that, and Arsenal are out. What a terrible, terrible week for the Gunners.
Too many of their players are looking at each other saying, who's doing the work? It's not going to be me.
Real Madrid win the quarter-final and knock out Manchester City.
Kevin Erling and Man was me to go out because we could not continue.
They're out on the feet, weren't they? Even if you're injured, 10 minutes, it was walking pace.
I've always believed in the possibility of a winter break being very effective and good for the players.
I do think with the amount of football that are being asked to play, scrap replays, man.
You just heard there from Stuart Pearce, Gabby Abonhar, our very own Darren Bent and the City gaffer Pep Guardiola reacting to Arsenal and Man City. I shouldn't laugh, it's embarrassing. Champions League exit last night. Both teams just ran out of steam apparently in the end. So should the Premier League introduce a winter break is one of the questions we'll be asking. Of course, if you want to answer anything, 03717223344. We'll talk Arsenal at 5, okay? So we'll do that a bit later on. Man City crashed out last night. What did you make of the game first? What did you make of their performance?
It was a great game of football. I had both on. I was fortunate enough to be with the lads last night, and we went and watched both games, so I had multi-screen going on. The Arsenal game was a bit more, we will get into more detail, it was a bit more downbeat, I thought, than the Man City Real Madrid game. It was just two teams going, we're going to score, get after each other. I thought City did well. I thought they did really well.
Okay.
I thought Real Madrid obviously started quite well, but the second half was all Man City, and then extra time was all Man City.
What did you? I read today. In fact, it happened last night. Of course, I was reading about it tonight. Rodri, Akanji, and Haaland apparently, and this is what Pep said. Apparently, all asked to be substituted, which I find stunning. If you're playing a home tie in the last day of the Champions League against Real Madrid in front of your home team, adrenaline will get you through that at the very least. What do you make of professional players being tired in such a massive game?
But if it's just tiredness, i.e., like I feel a bit groggy today, whatever, then I've got big concerns with that. If you are saying the amount of games you're nursing an injury, you're going into that game with an injury, and now you're really thinking that your season could be done with one eye on the Euros, even though it's not right, I can start to understand that. But in a game of that magnitude, I don't see how you get tired. And we was talking off air, and I think My frustration, and maybe some other people's frustration, is I didn't hear any of these complaints last year when City won the treble. I didn't hear anyone was tired, and I didn't hear anyone could keep up for it. And they had a World Cup to deal with. So
that's a very good point.
So I just think, is it a little bit of an easy get out now?
I'm always stunned. I've never played at the highest level you have. I'm always stunned when I hear footballers say I'm tired.
The problem you've got, though, I get it.
Have you ever been tired?
Always. I'm always tired.
When you were playing?
Yeah, always. You are always tired.
What, tired?
Yeah, because it's not the game that they're tired from. It's the weeks leading up to it. It's the travel. And this is where I would probably look now more at the sports scientists, because we hear so much about how everyone's monitored and their body fats and this, that, and the other. Well, then, if the manager are pushing the players to train to a certain level, that all comes off of the advice of the sports scientists. So there's got to be a communication breakdown there, because why are the players all of a sudden they're all just burning out now? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
When normally we've seen City and the like come into their best form at this point. So it's interesting. You don't hear any Liverpool players saying that they're tired at the moment.
No, I mean the argument, playing devil's advocate, the argument would be when you keep winning and winning, you're not going to feel tired, and if you lose or you're getting close to losing, the tiredness will be creeping in. I don't buy into it.
I just don't buy into it. I don't at all. And then, we again, I don't want to keep going into Arsenal, but you look at Arsenal, for example. I remember we spoke again off air. I think there was a Bournemouth game. Were they 4-1 up, 3-1 up?
3-1, I think.
3-1 up. And they leave Saka on in the 70th
And he's
minute.
limping as well.
Leave him on for the rest of the game. You look at, I think they played Oxford earlier on in the season, the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Played the strongest team. It's like, but then they were your opportunities to rest people. You didn't do that. And now, I don't know, your decision making's come home to roost, and it's like, oh well, everyone's tired now, so give us a break. And I don't know.
Okay,
I just don't buy into it.
What do you think it means for Man City season? So they've got a massive game, of course, at the weekend against Chelsea, and Chelsea were fantastic in the week, right? Albeit against quite a poor Everton side that can't buy a win at the moment, but they still did the business. They did it really well. Cole Palmer looks just a magnificent player to watch. This is a Man City side coming into this game on the back of
an emotional loss.
An emotional, to say the very least, right? Because not only have they been knocked out of the Champions League, but they were holders as well. So that's going to hurt. They're going into a semi-final against the Chelsea side, and you just don't know, right? If Chelsea are playing Burnley, you'd fancy Burnley. If Chelsea are playing Man City, you probably fancy, not Chelsea, but you wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea got the win. How big a game is this now for Man City this weekend?
I think every game for the top three has been massive for about 5-6 weeks now. So I think this is going to be huge as well in terms of how they can bounce back. But we're not in a position where we can sit here and question City whether they can do it, because they did it last year and they've been doing it over the course of time. I think the concern is where if you're saying now then that Man City players are tired, so if you pull Haaland out, you got to put Alvarez in. We'd probably say Alvarez gets into 15 teams.
He's a great player.
Yeah, so it's like you're not taking out bad players and putting in young, untried lads who have never played a Premier League game. So the squads, and the reason they spend so much is to have to be capable for this amount of game time. So I think it's a huge game. I think, having watched Chelsea the last 3 weeks now, I've saw a half-decent performance. I saw a performance against Sheffield United, which was like, oh my God, who's this? And then I saw the one on Monday, and you're like, oh, they're on the right way. So I think it's more pressure on Chelsea, to be honest, because now everyone would say you've had no Champions League, you're more rested than City, and you're in a situation where you've got to put together 2, 3, 4 wins now to show people that you're on the right path. And I think there's more pressure on Chelsea.
Isn't it weird though? Because if Man City win the Premier League, and they're still my favourites for it, there will be people, maybe a bit of me, will go, not a great season. Do you know what I mean? Because they've set their bar so high now. Yeah. We expect them. This is nuts, but we expect them to win the treble, right? Yeah. They've just been beaten against one of the greatest teams ever, Real Madrid. I don't mean I'm talking about the badge and the club. They've got a tough game at the weekend. If they just end up with the Premier League, that should be celebrated, right? We had Noel Gallagher on, I think, at the beginning of the week, and he said even before, to be fair, before the game last night, he said it's all about the league for him.
Oh, okay, I don't mind that, but I think as well, like. It's just a standard that we hold people to, and we're going to get into that a bit later. Each club's different, right? That what the standard of where they're at and who they should be. But I think if City go on and win the league. It's still been a great season. I just think for their standards and what they expect, they'll be hugely disappointed to go out. And
Do you think on the back of everything we said, we should have a winter break? I know we've talked about it many a time before. Do we? I mean, Harry Kane had one, right? But his team didn't win but they all had it in Germany. Does he look fresh when you watched the game last night against Arsenal, which we'll talk about from 5? Did you look at Harry Kane and go, oh, he looks a bit fresh?
He just looked like Harry does.
Yeah,
that's fit and ready and always ready to go. I think we've the problem I have with how we structure these things, we always flirt with ideas and we never just commit, right, we're going to have a winter break. Everyone else is doing it, we're going to do it. And it always feels like we give ourselves, and this is just my opinion, excuses before the big tournaments as to why. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so
totally.
we've got the Euros coming now. So, we're going to do that because the players look tired already. But if we win the Euros, will we be talking about how the players are tired or not?
Of course not.
Do you get what I mean? It feels like we just caveat everything just to make sure, just in case we fall a little bit short. So, for me, I think if we're going to do it, commit to it, no problem. I'm not a big fan of the no replays, but we'll get into that a bit later.
We will talk about that, yeah. Speak to John, he's a Spurs fan. Hi, John.
Hi guys. I just think that with the season and stuff, it's not so much that they need a rest because they're playing too much. I agree with you. They're probably overtraining because you could compensate that way. But I do think the way the games are spread for the Premier League.
FA Cup at the weekend, but then they can only focus fully on the Premier League. You don't need to rotate. You don't need to rest people because that's all you have to play for. Yeah. And there's a reason why only one team in the last 30 years have gone back-to-back in the Champions League. Because it's that hard to win it again, even if you've won it once. So it was always going to be, I think, a long shot to keep that Champions League trophy. I guess they can be super...
Past Real Madrid's gravitas in this competition, and now that they've knocked out what I think we've basically agreed here, without speaking about it, would be the favourite for the Champions League, knocking out City, you have to look at Real Madrid there. That is the strong side of the bracket, so I think I'll put Bayern Munich in second. Wouldn't have had them there before they played Arsenal, but what I saw over 2 legs against them, very smart. And it's just a little reminder that Thomas Tuchel can come up with that knockout game plan and really spoil your day. PSG for me would then be in third and Dortmund in fourth. But I still feel like I put PSG in third and I feel harsh about it because I think it's opening up for them, genuinely. And I think they'll be in the final. So how can they be third? But look, I think the winner of the Champions League will probably come from that one side.
Oh, yeah, I disagree. I think, you can flip PSG and Bayern Munich. And I think if PSG do get to the final in that one match on that big stage at Wembley, I think they have the assets to beat any of those sides which get through, which I suspect will be Real Madrid. Top manager, Luis Enrique, has won this before. He knows what to do there. Mbappe, star quality. You've got players like Dembele, you've got other fantastic young players, and you've got the experience of players like Marquinhos, a decent goalkeeper as well. I think there's a lot adding up for PSG, and they're moving up. I'd say Dortmund will need advantage from that first leg at home in front of the yellow wall to go to Paris and get through that side. But I think PSG will get the job done, which will be amazing considering they came through that group with Newcastle, all the controversy around that handball against Livramento as well. They just got through, but they've built momentum in this competition and maybe just finding form at the right time.
Yeah, I watched their first leg PSG and against Barcelona, and I thought, Mbappe, he's thrown it in, he's not bothered, and then he did what he did in the second leg. You just can't write them off, so it's really intriguing.
Bayern Munich then will take on Manchester City in the next round as they advance 3-2 on aggregate against Arsenal. You all right?
Sorry?
You okay?
Yeah.
Why did you point a face?
You say Bayern Munich take on Man City?
Yes.
When?
That'll be the next round.
No, Man City are out.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry, Real Madrid.
Oh,
that's all right.
I'm sorry.
Cut that out, cut that out in the edit. It's fine. We're live.
By the way, he said, Man City.
I told you,
that's all right. We only talked about it for half an hour, that's all.
Here we go. Well, I wasn't listening. Robbo said...
Shut up. What are you putting me off? Shut up.
Right, here we go.
Oh, my
Jurgen, Bluminette, Bayern, eh?
Yeah, a bit similar to what we just talked about with Real Madrid. When you face Bayern Munich, you're not facing the team that just lost the Bundesliga title in the German Cup against a third division team. You play Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals of the Champions League is a completely different story. You play a club that always believes that they can win the Champions League no matter what. No matter what the Bundesliga season brings you or the German Cup brings you. And this is huge, and this is how, that game evolved. Arsenal, which is certainly a fantastic team and plays a fantastic season and has so much talent and has so much to give. The first half, they were, I thought, okay, they're waiting. Maybe we have to go into extra time in this game. So they were very shy, both teams actually. And then it's probably at halftime, Thomas Tuchel told the team, listen, go out there now and get this win. So we go into the semi-final. And that's typical Bayern Munich. So they came out of halftime, out of the break, and they rose a little bit the tempo of the game, and there was the double chance with Goretzka and Guerrero. And then it was sooner or later was clear they're going to score a goal. And I'm personally very, very thrilled for Joshua Kimmich that he scored that goal, that decisive goal, taking them into the semifinals, because he had a tough year behind him in the final 8, final 4. It's a different team. It's because it's a different club, and they have that confidence. They know how to do it, no matter what happened last week, maybe in the Bundesliga.
It's silly. In some sense, that criticism came indirectly from his manager, didn't it? By his terminology.
Yes.
About, as Jurgen said, the number 6, possession and chase, Paulinho, both Kimmich and Goretzka, I think have been out of favour. Certainly Goretzka out of form for big chunks of the season. But right back is his natural position. A bit like Philip Lahm back in the day, guys that can just pretty much play wherever you put them. That's how talented these guys are. But he has been having a bad time in terms of, his manager making it clear he doesn't fancy him in the middle of the park. Can I give you some sort of sentimental take on the Bayern side of it? I think a lot of people have been trying to rubbish Harry Kane's move to the Bundesliga and say, well, Harry Kane's at Tottenham, he wins sod all, he goes to Bayern, they win everything, they're going to win nothing. He's a quality striker, and we know Bayern have been a really good side, they're having their struggles this year, but here Harry Kane is. Obviously Leverkusen have done it by some margin in the Bundesliga, but here he is, I think, validating his move to a club of this size, who are always fighting on these fronts, and they've had a bad one domestically. But now, who's to argue, looking at Man City being knocked out and Arsenal are knocked out by Bayern, that it's pretty much up in the air. So I think, for the likes of Harry Kane, particularly to these sort of online trolls, he could stick 2 fingers up at them and say, you know what, don't be too quick about talking about me winning nothing. So I think for him, that's a big result as well. I mean, not just for one player, but for the club it's huge. But I think for Harry Kane, validating his move there in the semi-final of the Champions League.
That was Craig Burley's sentimental corner, ladies and gentlemen.
It was kind of sentimental, and then he drifted.
The only thing is,
drifted.
I really don't see how anybody's going to beat Man City.
Well, I know. They go free where they lose. That was the 2 best performances we've seen from Bayern Munich this season, wasn't it? Home and away against Arsenal?
I think so. And the difference with Bayern Munich in these 2 performances, as compared to what we have seen most of the season in Bundesliga, and this is simple. I don't want to overanalyze this. Heart,
right? They cared.
Energy, intensity, running, challenging the ball, winning duels, winning second balls. A little bit of organization defensively, and just overall a certain attitude about the team that isn't always there and hasn't always been there in Bundesliga play. Certainly wasn't in the Pokal, but you see it, and that's when if you're a Bayern Munich fan, you have to get frustrated. You're happy that you go through, but you also have to be frustrated. Like, also you have it in you. You have this sort of performance in you. You have this sort of attitude. You have this sort of personality and this sort of talent. You just choose to display it every so often, not all the time. That's difficult to take because this is a departure. In fact, these 2 performances are outliers compared to the rest of the season. That's why they attract so much attention, because you kind of go, well, where did this come from? Because it hasn't been there. Now, to the point of Joshua Kimmich, isn't it amazing how it works in our game that the most important goal of the season for Bayern Munich is scored by the player, Joshua Kimmich, who has been directly or indirectly mostly criticized by his manager. So Thomas Tuchel, greatest achievement with Bayern Munich potentially has depended upon the performance and the goal by Joshua Kimmich, the player that he doesn't want on the field. That in itself just tells you everything that there is to know about how to manage or how to handle a team and how things sometimes just happen to work out. Today, it just happened to work out for Bayern Munich and Thomas Tuchel. They go through, and deservedly so, because over the two legs, they were better than Arsenal.
You don't watch the Bundesliga, it's a bit like La Liga, the commentary on that La Liga game. It's crystal clear. You don't watch Real Madrid every week. And if you don't watch the Bundesliga and you just think Bayern Munich, maybe just have a little glance at the table, you think, yeah, it's Bayern Munich, isn't it? But if you watch them all year, but particularly the last two games going in, Dortmund at home and Heidenheim away, second half.
Yeah.
First half, not too bad. Second half, a total collapse against the side. I think it's the first ever year in the Bundesliga, promoted last year, right? Who made 3 subs at half-time, little Heidenheim, and Bayern collapsed. And so you had to, and I know Jurgen picked Bayern, and that's fair enough, but you had to sit here rationally and go, right, and this was before the Arsenal defeat to Villa at the weekend. You had to sit and go, right, how do I find a way for Bayern Munich to win this game over two legs? And it was hard to find an argument. And I suppose one sense is, like Dortmund, there's a change of tune in this competition. There's a change of energy. And the other side of it is, and certainly we can talk about in this game, is that Arsenal's performances in this competition have been nowhere near the standard of their performances in the Premier League. And maybe it's just because they've met their match in this competition. I don't know. But it was hard to put an argument up as to how Bayern would knock Arsenal out over 180 minutes.
Jurgen, it's interesting from what Ali was saying about Thomas Tuchel's role in all of this, because surely as a coach, you should be getting your players to believe, to show heart, even though it's against Heidenheim, yet clearly he hasn't, and yet they step on the pitch today and put in these sort of performances. So has he got anything to do with it, or is it just the players wanting it?
No, he certainly has a lot to do with it. You know, he's still guiding the entire environment on the inside of the team, and he's a very experienced and a very, very good coach, and he proved that. He won the Champions League as well already. But the phenomenon of Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga has also to do with the fact, first of all, Bayer Leverkusen played its season of all times, you know, which nobody expected. In the perfection, Bayer Leverkusen did it and deserved it. The other thing is, Bayern Munich won the German Bundesliga the last 11 seasons. In other words, 11 years in a row Bayern Munich won it. So the hunger in you as a player is not the same. And then you see a team coming up and not losing any game until today. Leverkusen hasn't lost any game in the Bundesliga season. So you give it to them and say, okay, you know what, it's maybe meant to be that way. But at the same time, the club still has this desire, this hunger, and also this expectation to do well in whatever is left over. So left over is the Champions League. And so they refocus, you know, they kind of get themselves together and say, again, we'll show the world now who we are, you know, and we make it maybe not in the most fashionable way, maybe not in the most spectacular way with winning 3-4-0, but we're going to get through there, you know, and this was a tough fight with Arsenal in both legs, but they got the job done. And now anything is possible. Now you're in the semi-finals, and now you go eye to eye, and you kind of play it out. But I think Thomas Tuchel, the experience that he's getting right now with that team, with the club, is priceless. You know, he will take that with him, even if he moves on and takes over another big club, maybe in Europe. But the experience that he made is fantastic.
Do you know when I'm wrong? I'm quite happy to admit it.
Oh, okay.
And I always find this interesting on these sort of nights, Champions League.
Are Man City in? Man City in the semi-final, yes or no?
In Champions League games like this, like people
confuse me.
I know.
Can we just have a conversation?
Robbo, what surprises me is that people talk about experience within this competition, and I think, come on, you know, you look at the players that Arsenal have within that squad, within that starting 11. They should have garnered enough experience just playing the game professionally to be able to step up to this level. Yet we saw against Porto, and goodness me, we've seen against Bayern, that once again that lack of experience seemed to show.
I always think about this Arsenal side. They're a very good team, and they've got a bit of experience. They've got some younger players as well that are coming through and doing brilliantly. But I find they're too emotional at times. When things are going their way, they think they can beat anybody, and they play at a high tempo, and they do everything. They fight for each other. They I would think, over-celebrate victories and over-celebrate when they get a draw against Man City away from home, and Pep Guardiola has to tell them to keep quiet. You haven't won anything yet. And that's what happens when they start losing games or not playing well in games. They go the other way. And they did it before Christmas when they didn't win for 3 games, and they've done it in this little important period here, losing to Aston Villa, not playing quite well enough in the first game to stop Bayern coming back into it, and not playing well enough tonight. And that's something that Arteta and Arsenal have got to look at and say, it can't all be based on emotion. You're a good team, you've got some good players, make it more, have a clearer head when things aren't quite going your way, rather than basing it all on emotion and whipping up the crowd and all that sort of stuff. That's where Arsenal, I think, are still lacking at the moment, and I still think that comes down to the manager a bit.
This is the starting 11 you'd have wanted, Craig. Kai Havertz back in that false 9, Jorginho coming in.
Well, I wasn't desperate for Kai Havertz to be in the false 9. I was desperate for him not to be in the midfield.
Well, Jorginho then came into the midfield to see Rice go up, but it was nothing from Arsenal today. It was so flat.
Yeah, I think team selection you couldn't really question too much. I mean, left back's been an area that has fluctuated between a couple of players. It was Tomiyasu tonight, but you know they had the extra midfielder in there, as you said. Havertz was back in a position where he feels more comfortable, and he's actually played pretty well recently. Some big players that are coming on are off form, like Gabriel Jesus. He's not doing anything.
But even those on the pitch, what's Saka done the last couple of games?
Look, Arsenal were poor. Arsenal can still win the Premier League. It might happen, it might not. If they win the Premier League, it'll be a great season. But this could also be another season.
European semi-final since 1988, and only their second ever for Liverpool to achieve the miracle comeback. But they had Bergamo, to Rome, Barcelona, Madrid, Munich, and of course Istanbul, the scene of a famous European night in their rich history. Got the players to do it. The 5th longest serving head coach in Europe's top 5 leagues against the 4th. Gasperini against Klopp. Of course, means with Klopp's impending departure from Liverpool, Gasperini will soon be in 4th place himself. De Roon putting the pressure on Jones. Zappacosta. Van Dijk couldn't see it out, but has got it away. McAllister a little hesitant, nearly allowed Zappacosta to nick the ball. It's a frenzied opening. Here's Gakpo. Held off the challenge of Ederson. The referee doesn't think the next one is unfair. It's tumbling all over. Juan Musso chips the ball coolly out. Robertson claims the throw for Liverpool. There's going to be a slight delay there because Virgil van Dijk needs a bit of attention. Concerned by that. Gakpo went down initially. Actually, Gakpo that was hurt. It's Van Dijk who's been treated now. Gakpo seemed to catch his right ankle awkwardly. Van Dijk's fingers become dislocated, I think. Needs slotting back. Running repairs. Look the other way and snapped. Ouch. Been there. Now we can go again. So we throw back to Alisson. headers. And for a Liverpool throw. Liverpool mounted their famous comeback against Barcelona 5 years ago. The first of their 4 goals that they needed came in the 7th minute, so we're not far away. They had to wait until the 54th, 9 minutes after half-time, to make it 2. So they don't have to go hell for leather right from the start. It's Atalanta, actually, who is showing that sort of attitude. Gasperini consistent, the old mantra remains true for this game. It starts 0-0. That's how his team have got to think about it. Luis Diaz gets there. Gakpo's charging into the box. Diaz past one challenge. Dug out the cross. Here's Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold. Blocked. Handball is the shout. The referee's given the penalty. What an opening this could be for Liverpool, just what they needed. Ruggieri, who heads away to the edge of the box. Alexander-Arnold's blast back in. It does hit the left arm clearly. It's away from the body. It's kind of just a natural instinctive movement, but the way the game is officiated now, they get given. They tend not to get overturned on review. Well, it's the dream scenario for Liverpool if they can score from the spot. It's being looked at. Jérôme Brissard is the video assistant referee. I don't think he's going to disagree. Close range is the only thing that could save Ruggieri and Atalanta here. Penalty it remains. It's unlucky. There's not a lot he could have done about it. But here we go, Mo Salah. Just the man Liverpool would want in this sort of position. Salah on the spot. Salah absolutely emphatic with his kick. They're a team in a hurry. They're a team that have got the ball rolling as they needed it to. Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1. The gap reduces from 3 to 2. There's Gakpo. Now you might be able to feel a bit of tension and a few nerves. You can certainly hear the Liverpool fans. Atalanta's supporters respond in kind. The goal officially timed, the clock had ticked round, it is the 7th minute. A bit more Barcelona deja vu. It's Ederson. Luis Diaz to Robertson. Cleared by Hein. Alexander-Arnold to Ibrahima Konate. Played through for Szoboszlai, but Wang Musso gets there first. Salah's penalty, his 33rd successful for Liverpool. Only 3 players have scored more for the club in their history. Steven Gerrard, 47, and Morby, 42, and Phil Neal, 38, part of the great European Cup winning team of the 80s. Multiple European Cup winning team. Ederson. Into Gakpo, it wouldn't stick. It's grabbed Hine out of his way, so it'll be an Atalanta free kick. They've taken it. They've got another one now. McAllister getting a hold of Miranchuk. There is Miranchuk, given away. Musa. Ruggieri. Ederson bumped off the ball by Konate. The referee knows already he's going to have to stay fully focused. He's not going to have an easy night. This will be fast and at times furious. Got to play with their heads, Atalanta. Remind themselves of their usually ever so cool coach's words about it being 0-0 at the start. Any team could do this, it's Liverpool. Ruggieri, Ederson, Koopmeiners. Konate, there's two little nudges, putting him off balance, nothing to stray over the line of fair play though, and it's going to be a goal kick. Atalanta 0, Liverpool 1. 3-1 to the Italians on aggregate. Down. As though badly fouled, the referee thought it was absolutely fine. Alisson. Salah is now back to his feet. Game's taking place around him. Ruggieri. It's a race on here for Szoboszlai to stop the corner. Well played. Alexander-Arnold. Great ball for Diaz. Jones. Robertson. Gakpo, Luis Diaz, what a touch from Gakpo! And it's booted clear by Isakine. Oh, Liverpool are on it. They are chasing. Jones to Szoboszlai, it was swerving, that's really well held by Juan Musso. One look up from the Hungarian. Look at the swerve on that ball, and what a touch that was. Luis Diaz onside. It's more good goalkeeping by Musso. He had to get there first, he absolutely had to, and he's brave. Feet down at the boot of Diaz. Head down at the boot of Diaz, rather. Musso away. Miranchuk. It's up to Costa. On early with that. Nobody's there as a result. You can see Diaz get the lift on the finish. The ball came his way from Gakpo, and it's so important that Musso would arrive quickly. Miranchuk, Scamacca, Koopmeiners, Van Dijk, oh, kept out was it by Alisson. Close to being an own goal. Well, the assistant referee's flags in the air for offside, I think. Szoboszlai's mistake, he gave the ball away. Yes, it's played through to Scamacca, he is off. And it wouldn't have mattered even had it crossed the line, and it was a good half metre or so from doing that. Well, what a game we've got on. Alexander-Arnold. Szoboszlai. Dyke finds Roberts. Alexander-Arnold will move from right back into midfield regularly until Liverpool in possession. He'll be a midfielder. Here's Szoboszlai. Going to find Luis Diaz. Canate. Jones, that was too casual. Lost the ball to Scamacca. Alexander-Arnold's shunted that back with his thigh. Salah. Jones. Derone. Miranchuk. Keeps it away from McAllister. And loses the ball to Gakpo. Szoboszlai on his way. Luis Diaz will be beaten to that by Jimshiti. Canate. We've come to this late missed kick-off. It's all started for Liverpool. Penalty given. As the clock ticks around to 7 minutes, it was blasted home by Mo Salah. Handball against Ruggieri was the decision. Reduced the gap. Scamacca. Robertson's hooked forward, looking for Luis Diaz. Hine. Van Dijk. Alisson. How far is he going to go? He tried to take it from him. Costa. It's the free kick from Diaz. Stop towards Scamacca. It's Canate who wins it. Salah. Put under real pressure there by Kolasinac. Robertson. Given away by Diaz, straight to coat miners. Scamacca peels off, and Scamacca plays it through, but Miranchuk couldn't do the rest of it. Atalanta's best attacking move of the game. Alexander-Arnold. Derone wins it. McAllister gets it back for Liverpool. As Diaz will have to give up on that. He's running away. Lovely exchange between Miranchuk and Scamacca. Just that poke back to the Russian by Gianluca Scamacca. That was a bit hefty. Difficult one to control. Scamacca comes back to try and rid Alexander-Arnold of the ball. McAllister has it now. Robertson. Gakpo. Here's Alexander-Arnold. He's looking for Szoboszlai, who was always likely to run out of room. Could have caused a problem had he made any sort of contact. Canate. Sinach with the header. Jones pushed to the floor by Derone. Good hold of him. Canate. Szoboszlai with Kolasinac out of the game. And Szoboszlai pulls it back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's had a good look. Knocked in towards Salah. It's all a little bit intricate from Liverpool. One set up too far. Chances they never developed. Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. Launched by Ellison. By the head of Isaac Hein. Canate. Atalanta's 5-0 defeat to Liverpool in 2020 is their heaviest ever at home in Europe. Liverpool's biggest away win. Scamacca. They also have a vulnerable side, and Atalanta must exploit that if and when they get the chance, if they can create. Well, here's Zappacosta, 2 in the box. Kolasinac. Ruggieri. Koopmeiners. Wins a throw. When you talk about his future, expected to move on at the end of the season. It's been a huge hit in these 3 years in Bergamo since starting from RZ in the Eredivisie in the Netherlands. He's claiming handball there. The referee doesn't think that one was. Nor does Alexis McAllister. Jimshiti. Derone. Cherry loses possession. Alexander-Arnold. Jones. Robertson. Orders Canate to play it back to the keeper, and then orders him to drift out to a wider position, directing everything at the back, the Liverpool captain. Alisson allowed to take his time. Jones turns to Rowe. Lovely ball for Salah. Diaz. Salah. Salah's frustrated with Ibrahima Konate there. Feels there was indecision. He could have played the ball into feet. Alisson. Lovely cushion there from Robertson. Played out by Miranchuk. Liverpool will be able to keep the pressure on. The significance of the 7th minute. When they won 5-1 at Sparta away from home in the first leg in the round of 16, they also took the lead with a 7th minute penalty. Alexis McAllister put that one in. Salah tonight. Liverpool eliminated on both previous times. They've lost a home first leg in UEFA club competition. Last as recently as last season against Real Madrid in the Champions League. They really fancy this now. They didn't before. The line from Jurgen Klopp, remembering Barcelona 5 years ago in the build-up to the game. He used the same words now as then. If we fail, then let's fail in the most beautiful way. That's how he wants to see it. And the failure part. Jones. Well won by Derone. Good little ball into Koopmeiners too. Miranchuk right, Scamacca middle. Miranchuk. Koopmeiners. Ante gets close. Alisson will catch. Lost by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Ederson, lovely pass. Scamacca didn't get a hold of the shot. Miranchuk, oh, what was Konate doing there? He seemed to switch off. Allowed Miranchuk a swing at the ball. I thought the Liverpool centre-back had sorted that out. He doesn't get close enough to stop the effort. Alisson wasn't entirely sure it was going wide. Szoboszlai. Salah had to be strong to withstand the challenge. Koopmeiners scraps away. Scamacca keeps it away from McAllister, and he's been kicked, free kick. Applauded by Gianpiero Gasparini there, his striker. We had the Conference League winner just last season with West Ham, although injury meant he missed the final. Ederson. It's a bit of treatment from McAllister. Jimshiti. Run by Derone. Ruggieri. Van Dijk's miscued it. It's going to go out for an Atalanta throw. The flags still wave. The songs are still sung. And they still believe that they've got the lead that they need and might even add to it. Salah on the run, and out comes Musso. And the afford any error there, but he has made a mistake. So is Van Dijk in having that early swipe at it. And he's committed a foul in trying to recover. He's impeded Miranchuk. Atalanta feel that's worthy of a card. Free kick will have to do. It's kicked through him. Bounces back off Ruggieri to Canate, cleared by Alexander-Arnold. More than a clearance. He's trying to put Gakpo in. Salah's arriving. He's not the only one. It's Diaz, it's Salah, and now it's Musso because of an important slide to the ball from Berat Jimshiti. Liverpool close to working their way in. Danian international. He's been at Atalanta now for over 8 years with a timely intervention. It's a great contest, made all the better by Liverpool's early goal to just really shake things up a bit, but Atalanta have responded nicely, particularly in the last 10 minutes. Just as at Anfield, they will keep on attacking. Sure, if it stays like this as we get to the latter stages, there will be a natural sort of retreat back into defensive shapes, but that's a way off yet. Qualification will seem that way too. Liverpool not averse to going long tonight, that's too long. It's the most ill at ease we've seen him look all evening. He's been very relaxed, Jurgen Klopp. Says auf Wiedersehen to Anfield. This could very well be his last European match with Liverpool. Offside. McAllister. Stopped on by Szoboszlai. Challenge successfully by Ederson. By Jimshiti. He's missed that too, but Poe not ready for that error. Apology goes up from the experienced defender. Atalanta thought that was their throw. Jones gets it back to Gakpo. Close enough to Robertson. Robertson's there might be a gap at the back. Van Dijk is across to cover. Atalanta don't get the throw in again, much to their annoyance. Alexander-Arnold. Canate. Jones. Dijk. Rome successfully stayed in the way of Curtis Jones. Van Dijk, handball given against Miranchuk. Again, it's a close range thing. Szoboszlai. Gakpo. Jones brings in Robertson. Ruggieri can probably get his head to it. Salah finds Szoboszlai. Alexander-Arnold. McAllister. Looking for Alexander-Arnold again. He was twisting, he was turning, and he lost his geography. There was an idea floated around in some circles in England that Liverpool 3-0 down, coming here should kind of forget about it, concentrate on winning all their remaining games and try and bag the Premier League, but I think we all knew that was a preposterous notion, really. They've done it before, they are minded to do it again. Luke Klopp would have it no other way. Atalanta must keep pressing, because one goal, you would think just one goal would knock that ambition out of Liverpool somewhat. Gakpo to Salah. Jerome didn't sort that out properly. Gakpo. That's how to do it. Hine with the big boot. Kanate. Alexander-Arnold. It's an easy for Juan Musso. Liverpool need to win tonight, not just in terms of getting through to the semis, but to end a run of 3 games without one. They need to re-establish their rhythm ahead of a weekend trip to Fulham in the English Premier League. If they don't get the 3 or 4 goals they need, the win is essential. Here's Alexander-Arnold. Look at the runners, left and right, that's what he's doing, and Szoboszlai's not helped by the pass. Kolasinac sees him out. Sides of this stadium open at the moment as it continues to be redeveloped, but all 3 sides are making a terrific din. Through towards Salah. Salah in on goal to lift it over Musso, but lift it wide. What an opportunity for Salah to really make the nerves jangle for Atalanta. Oh, he should have been more controlled than that. Luis Diaz wanted the ball given to him, but Salah's got to go for it. It's bounced up beautifully. Musso was stranded. He's got to get that on target. Liverpool have to try that move again and get him in. He won't make the same mistake twice. The arrears should have been reduced to 1. Salah scores that. I think some would have been thinking, you know what, Liverpool are favourites now. So much time left in the game. Alexander-Arnold. Oh, he's lost the ball to Koopmeiners. Just about recovered with Alisson's help. Trying Koopmeiners doing exactly what Atalanta need to do. Here's Derone. He'll do that. He is the battler. What a good ball through! And it's in! The flag's up. Koopmeiners' celebrations are cut instantly short. Of course, VAR means there's always the chance of a reprieve if it was an errant flag. Let's see. Canate stepping out. Oh, he's offside. Really good flag, that. Good decision. Excellent finish by the Dutchman, but that's where semi-automated offside comes into its own as well. There is assistance for the officials when everything is happening at such a pace in the middle. It stays 1-0. Flurry of activity at both ends. Canate. A well-timed move forward by him. Toyn Koopmeiners, Atalanta's best bet, it seems. Scamacca too, with the form he's in. Number 7, the Dutch international, is really putting the squeeze on, giving Liverpool no time at all. Boy, can he finish. 13 goals this season, 10 of those in his last 16 games. On towards Salah, who so can let it roll. I think Gianpiero Gasparini wouldn't mind half-time to tick around pretty quickly. Salah. Hine, handball again. Stopped the ball from reaching Luis Diaz, and he's going to get a caution because of that. Salah's complaining that that's not enough punishment. Has he denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? That's what Liverpool are arguing. He did seem to dip his hand towards the ball there. As it is, it's a card for Hine, which would rule him out of the first leg of the semi-final if Atalanta get there. Luis Diaz is looking, he's saying red, red. I think the referee was always going to brandish yellow. And a yellow card for Luis Diaz for asking the question too strongly. That's branded as dissent. Liverpool have had one huge opportunity to make it 2-0. They didn't take it. Can they fashion one from this? Jurgen Klopp still in discussion as to why it wasn't red, with Pierre Garouste, who is the fourth official. Alexander-Arnold, this is a long way out. See that for yourself. Van Dijk is up there. Alexander-Arnold did go for goal. No finesse about that. Jones, Van Dijk's touch on. Luis Diaz, now it's McAllister. He hit it straight against Hine. And the follow-up effort from Trent Alexander-Arnold, worse than his first effort. Just a little bit of disharmony on the field. That's confirmation of Isaac Hine's yellow card that Liverpool argued should have been red for stopping them scoring. Koopmeiners. Miranchuk was caught late as he knocked the ball down to Koopmeiners, and now it's Atalanta's turn to say, don't be so lenient, referee. Van Dijk going into the back of Alexei Miranchuk. It's not his first foul tonight. Now into 2 minutes of additional. Atalanta hearts beating really quickly. Maybe they'll go into the break and think, what? That's okay, could have been worse. Still 2 in front. What a second half in prospect. Gakpo. Hine kept it away, boots the ball away, and Gakpo is quickly into one of the spares. Szoboszlai. It's not a great touch, and down he goes looking for it. There's another ball on the pitch. Atalanta won't want the game stopped, though. They're breaking with Miranchuk. Kanate gets back in his way. Jones. McAllister. Edison. It's out for a Liverpool throw. Alisson. So it's the easy-ish ball. It's up to Salah instead. Lovely taken turn. Szoboszlai. Out for a throw if there's time to take it. The referee's had a look at his watch, and that will do it for the first half. Liverpool began the game exactly as they had to, in a hurry, to start putting right what went wrong a week ago. That was the offside given against Koopmeiners, who just briefly thought he'd equalised this Mo Salah penalty. to get the second half started. No changes made by Gasperini or Klopp yet, but the feeling is that there will be a Liverpool one on the way. We had a whole load of substitutes warming up quite intensely during the interval. Diogo Jota's appearance might be high up on the list, given that he scored a hat-trick last time Liverpool were here. 5-0 win then. But 2 to the good at half-time. The game played behind closed doors, and Atalanta supporters are making this a completely different occasion tonight. Van Dijk. Jerry. Arte has it, just enough on it to find Alisson. Have to squeeze Liverpool, and again that would be too hasty in nature. A team that can exercise more of a degree of patience. Alexander-Arnold impatiently trying to find Robertson, who'd ventured forward. Far away from being back to their full-strength squad being available once more, having had so many injuries throughout the season. Young Conor Bradley is out just at the moment. Thiago's been out all season, and Joel Matip since early December. Other than that, they're all out there or waiting to get out there. Six huge Premier League games to come after this. 2 points behind Manchester City at the top. I can wait till the weekend. Atalanta threw away a 2-goal lead on Monday night in Serie A. 2-2 against Hellas Verona. Infuriated by that, because it's really dented their chances of qualifying for the Champions League next season, even if Italy is expected to get a 5th extra place, 1 extra place. Currently 5 points behind Roma, who sit in 5th at the moment. Again, back away. More important business in the next 40+ minutes here. Atalanta win themselves a corner. With Hine on the penalty spot. Jim Sheety makes the break. The ball's gone to the back. They all broke to the front. That did not work. Happy with himself. Robertson. Ruggieri, Scamacca, Cope Miners, Miranchuk has Zappacosta right. The ball really needed to go to him first time. Zappacosta in, Scamacca missed it. Miranchuk and Cope Miners in one another's way, and Ederson's shot saved by Alisson. There seemed to be 3 or 4 chances coming at once for Atalanta. They couldn't take any of them. More will come their way as Liverpool inevitably have to push forward as the time ticks on. That's the other danger for Liverpool in the perilous position they're in. Jim Sheety there. Jim Sheety swung a leg and caught him. Beautiful bit of skill. Robertson. Another free kick to Liverpool. This time Jones, the player, fouled. Just playing a little bit on the edge. They've got to keep their discipline here. Avoid the silly fouls. If they go down to 10, it'll get tough. Oh, the bounce of the ball doesn't help them here. What on earth happened? Musso having a word with Kolasinac and vice versa. They got away with it. McAllister. He didn't look. Duron. That's a nothing ball. Alexander-Arnold. Gets the return, beautifully lifted back to him. And Ederson's there to stop any further progress by Liverpool other than a corner. Looking down the other end to Ladea, the goddess appearing in the seats in the redeveloped stand. Hoping that the gods and goddesses are smiling on them for the next 40 minutes. So Bosley. Stopped by Ederson. He swings it away. This is Robertson. The songs have stopped momentarily. First time all night that the drums stopped beating. Bosley. Ederson. Stolen from him by McAllister. Atalanta find their beat again. Alisson. Right, we'll sort it out. McAllister, misplaced header there from Ruggieri. Salah finds the boss line. Jones. Gets his way past Duron. Robertson. Gakpo. Luis Diaz. Gakpo. It's deflected, but it's made it nice and easy for Musso. Gakpo's working hard down the left. He's played that role chiefly tonight. Luis Diaz trying to get into the middle. Hasn't been involved much at all. Can't help but think that we must see Diogo Jota soonish for Liverpool. Need or will want to change anything right now. One by Hine, Duron. Canate. Luis Diaz spinning. It's there first, bumped Jim Sheety away. Jones. Salah. Diaz waits for it. Trying to skip his way between two. He flung himself to the floor, really. Jim Sheety. Mike has a look. Gets it away from Zappacosta. Through towards Gakpo, and the flag has stayed down. Gakpo with a lot to do. Szoboszlai. Gakpo's flick. Salah. Musso saves. Robertson now, and the flag is up. The referee didn't see it, and it goes up again. Toes break caught out the Atalanta defence. From his flick, Salah is offside. It wouldn't have counted, but Musso's done brilliantly. Not the first time he's done that tonight. Out so quickly and bravely. No way past him. Goalkeeper sign from fellow Northern Italian club Udinese in 2021. He's not their custodian in Serie A. It hasn't been since December. That role goes to Marco Carnesecchi. He's been a regular in the Europa League all season, the Argentinian, and has had a game and a half and a little bit more against Liverpool, in which he's been impressive all the way through. Gakpo wrestled off it. Scamacca has put his body into Canate, and that was just a bit too rough in the ref's view. Free kick Atalanta. It's all getting a lot more urgent now, certainly from a Liverpool perspective. Stayed patient in the first half, waiting for the game to organically develop. Now they've got to just put their foot on the gas that little bit more. Can't just wait for it to happen. And they're getting closer. Free kick. Alexander-Arnold on it. Peeling away to the back. Van Dijk wins it, but it's a pretty soft one. Easy for Musso. Score remains the same. 1-0 Liverpool on the night, 3-1 to Atalanta in the tie overall. Team that's won the lot multiple times in Liverpool. It's the club that's only won one trophy in all their history. Was the Coppa Italia in 1963. Hat-trick in the final from Angelo Domenghini, who went on to win the European Cup itself with Inter in 1965, and was in that great Brazil team that was runner-up to the even greater Brazil team, the great Italy team rather, runner-up to Brazil in 1970. Gasparini, old enough to remember that. Canate, fouled by Scamacca. Real handful, Gianluca Scamacca. He has come on, didn't really get people talking about him in his one season in England with West Ham United, but it's done him good because he's returned to Italy a better striker, and he's got 14 goals for Atalanta this season, a lot of them coming lately. One tonight could be huge. This is Koopmeiners. Straight at Alisson. Super work from Zappacosta to set him up. This is the pattern that we now expect. Liverpool will press and push. They'll have to gamble that little bit more, and they might just leave themselves exposed in their own half. Luis Diaz. McAllister. Robertson. Good tackle. Jim Sheety that won it. Miranchuk, equally good tackle from Curtis Jones. That's Derone putting himself about. That's his style. Particularly controlled football in the middle from either team here. Jones. Robertson. Luis Diaz gets to the header out from Kolasinac. He's won it back from Salah though. Miranchuk on the run, taking it wide of Konate. Ederson. Poked back by Miranchuk, and there's McAllister to stop his foray forward. By the half-and-half scarf, he's just marking the occasion. Atalanta through and through. Still looking for any sign of a substitution. Nunez, of course, on the bench for Liverpool too, as well as Diogo Jota. Derone, what a ball, Zappacosta, good tackle, Konate. This is going to be fun. Hine, knocks it down to Ederson. Ruggieri, never really had it under his spell, but he's battled away to keep it away from Alexander-Arnold. Coke minus now. Scamacca just beaten to it. Here's Derone. Now a chance to get the ball in the box, full waiting, but Alisson is able to pluck it out of the air. No pressure on him. Not the right ball in from Ruggieri. Jones. Look how stretched this is. Liverpool will go at pace every time they can. Luis Diaz. Appearing on the right finally is Alexander-Arnold. McAllister. Salah. Szoboszlai. Van Dijk. Szoboszlai. Robertson. Jones. Diaz hadn't made that break forward. Jones asking him why now. Passage in the game when Atalanta are perhaps instinctively, perhaps being forced that way, but they are deep back in their own half. Coke minus there was urging colleagues out. He's doing it again. That's the pressure to start here. Not too close to their own box. Time will leave it for Musso. He's judged it well. Jim Sheety. Derone. Good vision, good ball. Look at Miranchuk on the right. Scamacca picks him out. Miranchuk to Coke minus. Forced wider than he wanted to be. Ruggieri. Salah didn't go with him. Ruggieri able just to advance into the box unchallenged. Ederson. An Atalanta goal finishes this off, surely. Now we're going to get 3 changes at once for Liverpool, no surprise. Diogo Jota, Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott, all coming on. Luis Diaz is going off, and just saw the number 11 on the board too. I don't think it's any great shock to see Salah being replaced. Scored from the spot, perfect penalty. But he had a wonderful chance to make it too, and not for the first time in recent weeks, he's not quite been his usual self tonight, not consistently for the whole game. Bossline, the third player to make his exit. Very handy trio to come on. Jota with hat-trick history on this ground. Cheating. Elliott's first touch. Liverpool throw. Charles Ketelere is going to come on in a moment for Atalanta, I would think for Miranchuk. Some were a little surprised that the Russian started the game in preference to the Belgian. McAllister. Robertson. Mr. gave it away, that was uncharacteristic. Derone, not like him either. Jones. Darwin Núñez. Núñez spirals to the floor. That was of his own doing. Zappacosta. Superb. He's a player who maybe we haven't spoken enough about over the 2 legs. And it's another marauding run from Zappacosta, setting up the chance for Scamacca, who's been much more clinical and composed than that in front of goal in recent weeks. That's glorious from Davide Zappacosta. By Kolasinac. Ruggieri gets it forward. Kolasinac. No suggestion yet of Atalanta really starting to think about protecting their 2-goal lead in the tie. They're playing it now as they played it all the way through the first leg. Still trying to score themselves. Is the way they've been. And the long and impressive reign of Gianpiero Gasparini. Elliott. McAllister finds Robertson. Gakpo. Gakpo's delivery, nobody in red there. There is here Alexander-Arnold, but he's sliced. Van Dijk. Alisson. Joe Gomez to come on in a moment. Jota. Gakpo. Charges down. Costa's boot forward and Musso can get it. There you go, those Atalanta fans again. seen their side lose a game at all in the Europa League this season. Only lost one of their last 15 in Europe, all told. If they lose this, as long as it's not by 3, they won't mind. Semi-finals of the Europa League, above and beyond expectations this season. As Barini was saying in the build-up to tonight, this squad's gone beyond in every competition. And a lovely line. Some of our players are like Highlander. They keep going. It's a reference to the 80s film about immortals. Musso, time to gather. Liverpool, time to score. One now, one later, that's what they need. I would think most, certainly Liverpool, but plenty of neutral observers would have thought that when they scored in the 7th minute, by the 72nd, they'd have had at least one more. Trent Alexander-Arnold, his first start tonight since February. What a great surprise that he hasn't lasted the distance. He's going to be preserved for the Premier League title run-in, so on comes Joe Gomez. Jota. Nobody there, other than Musso. Skamaka. I feel like the game's just lost a bit of its energy. The end-to-end frenetic nature of it has dimmed. Maybe waiting for a crescendo of a finish. Van Dijk, Liverpool losing their way. I'm not sure they fully believe they can pull this off now, and Jurgen Klopp has to get that belief back in them. Gomez. Here's the road, he never stops. He's got some height on that. Pasalic and De Ketelaere to come on for Atalanta. I've not seen that yet. Musso to stop Darwin Núñez. McAllister, Gomez. In comes Koopmeiners determinedly, and he's won the throw-in. Now there will be the double change for the home team. Skamaka's coming off. Won't be adding to his tally of 7 in 8 games tonight. But he's worked hard. He's performed that centre-forward role again without having any real chance to score. His run of Europa League goals and 3 games in a row. De Ketelaere can do with the goal. He's gone 10 games without one after scoring 8 in 10 from December to February. But his loan move from Milan, not far away from here, has gone very well in general. And Ederson is off. This is an interesting change. Ederson, who brings so much energy to midfield alongside Martin de Roon, and off he goes to make way for Mario Pasalic, who's a little more attack-minded, if anything. Like for like is the idea, but is it a risk or is it just the Atalanta Gasparini way? Elliott. By Hine. Another excellent game from the Swede. De Ketelaere. Takes on Konate and beats him. Might have to do it again. Here's Koopmeiners. Ran out of room courtesy of his Dutch international colleague Virgil van Dijk. Koopmeiners is a player. Curiously, he's never scored a European goal for Atalanta. He scored 7 in his time with RZ. Gakpo. Van Dijk stroking it up towards Nunez. Koopmeiners. Pasalic. Alistair unfairly forced off the ball. Liverpool free kick. Liverpool have got to go now. Time to throw all the cards in. Spin that wheel, hope it lands on red. That's got to be the policy from Jurgen Klopp here. Got a free kick again. McAllister chopped again. Shown to Koopmeiners. Challenge. Could have resulted in injury for McAllister. It's not a good one, really. That's Muso's. Tries to hit Ketelera, who does help it on, but Canate has plenty of time here. Unlike his team in general, they're running out of it. Going out of Europe, unless they can find 2 goals. They have done it before, and Atalanta have thrown away 2 goals before. Takes a little push. Schroeder thinks it was not. Interesting change about to be made by Jurgen Klopp with Jayden Dance to come on. Is going to make way for Ademola Lookman for the home team. Lookman with energy and pace, and he will stretch a Liverpool defence. If they do take the gamble and push forward more, he'll get in round the back. Jayden Dance comes on for Andy Robertson, so that's it. The button's been pressed. Let's go for broke. All out now. Jayden Dance, European debut, only 18. Came on to get 2 in the FA Cup against Southampton. Be Liverpool's Divock Origi of the present day, be the super sub. With David Fairclough if you're older. Liverpool have had many. Jones. 10 minutes to go. Liverpool still 2 behind in the tie, 1 up on the 9. Van Dijk. It's De Roon. bounce. Out of play. He's a little bit like Carlo Ancelotti, isn't he? All the drama and excitement going on in front of him, but he barely changes his demeanour. Very cool, calm, experienced figure to guide his players through it. Field as a player, defensively minded. Played for 8 clubs, mostly outside Serie A. What a job he's done over a long, long time at Atalanta. He's turned them into European hopefuls, time and again, from perennial relegation battlers. Here's Diogo Jota. It's Ruggieri, turn it away from Gomez. It will be a Liverpool throw. Van Dijk. There's Nunez to win it, but nobody to run onto it. Said a few minutes ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, that it seemed as though the belief had gone. Maybe even from his eyes. Certainly from his. Big moment in the game was that opportunity when Salah was in, with the chance to play it over Musso, make it 2-0, and he got it over him all right, but wide of the target. Best chance Liverpool have had all night since he put away the spot kick superbly. Dance, it's bounced away. Atalanta throw, Liverpool losing their way. Atalanta supporters smiling, but it's a nervous smile. They're not ready to celebrate just yet. Not fully. Dijk has to pick up the pace with Lookman putting him under pressure. Another race is on, and Gakpo it is who has to go into reverse. Koopman has shoulder to shoulder, he says. Free kick Liverpool. He is just in behind his fellow Dutchman. Gakpo. Symptomatic of what's going for Liverpool now. Jones misplacing the pass. He keeps the ball there from De Roon. Where to next? They have to go forward. Now the whistles are increasing in volume. 6 minutes to go. There's a lot of whistling to do yet. Van Dijk. Diogo Jota. Dealt with by Jim Sheety. Jota thinks he's been fouled several times. He got nothing for it since coming on. Costa takes his time. Jurgen Klopp right behind him to alert the referee to that. Gomez. Nunez. Kolasinac in twice. Liverpool's throw. Elliott. Dance. McAllister. Gakpo. McAllister. Konate. Elliott. It's looped up for Musso, and Musso holds on to it. As long as he dare. Does the taking a seat indicate that, yeah, it's gone for Jurgen Klopp? His desire to finish his terrific tenure as Liverpool manager in Dublin in the final of this competition is just a few minutes away now from going away from him. Gakpo. He followed Diogo Jota all the way. (1-0) half-time. Could, maybe should have been 2. Still thought Liverpool had laid the foundations to really tear into Atalanta, but they've not been allowed to. They've barely created a chance worthy of the name this half. When they have got anywhere near, Musso's been excellent in goal. As Klopp said, echoing the Barcelona game of 5 years ago, if we fail, let's fail in the most beautiful way. Well, they haven't done that. I think that's credit to Atalanta for the most part. Done what they had to do absolutely superbly. And they're keeping on working and making sure Liverpool don't get that last glimmer of light shining bright for them. Van Dijk. Konate. Intercepted by Ruggieri, but they don't have to chase it forward now, Atalanta. Koopmeiners will still press as best he can. Jones. Still, it's a high defensive shape. Winning the ball on halfway, not allowing Liverpool close. Alisson. Easy for Musso. Seems to be getting easier for Atalanta, but Gianpiero Gasperini urges for more from his players. The fans have given it all night, and at Anfield last week. Those who travelled to Merseyside were magnificent. They are very nearly there now. In 2020, they were moments away from the Champions League semi-final. They lost to PSG. Equalising goal for the Parisians came in the 90th minute. The winner came 3 after that. Maybe there's historical hope for Liverpool yet. That'll be cut out. And away goes Zappacosta. Lookman makes the run. Lookman turns McAllister. And he's onto the return pass. Help will come from Zappacosta. So there's no pressure to put the ball into the box. But here's Koopmeiners. And it's a corner for Atalanta. They'll take their time over it. By the time it's delivered, we might well be past 90 minutes. What a performance over 2 games. Koopmeiners keeps his feet, trying to win another corner. This is De Ketelaere. 3 minutes to be added on. We've had a couple of glances of the Atalanta owner in the last few minutes. Antonio Percassi. Used to play for the club. He was a hopeful. Started out with the team when he was 17. His career was over by the time he was 23. He's since done well in business. Now it is very much his club. He's going to enjoy the spectacle of watching them in a Europa League semi-final. The songs that have been sung all night have a celebratory air to them. In from McAllister, help towards goal, and Musso has another one in his very safe grasp. Now it can start. No more than a hopeful flick from Nunez. Moving around towards the 3rd minute of time added on. Liverpool won't be getting 2 goals from here. In reality, they've never looked close to getting a second all second half. Van Dijk is an extra striker. Zappacosta. Won by Jones. Atalanta's ball. There's a smile there. There's a smile. There's one there too, but it's on Jurgen Klopp's face for very different reasons. Played down the side for Lookman, who'd gone too soon. But those Atalanta supporters haven't. They've timed their run perfectly. Supported the team all night long. Only now are they celebrating fully, and the jacket's off for Gasperini. What a job, what a man. He is loving this moment. The referee's going to have a look in a moment. Diogo Jota turned away, Lookman has it. Zappacosta's going to let Koopmeiners run with it. And it is the full-time whistle. And Atalanta can celebrate knocking Liverpool out of the Europa League. Jurgen Klopp, who's had so much success, well, he won't be having any more in Europe with his beloved Liverpool team. And he accepts their exit in good grace. Too good at Anfield, Atalanta. 3-0 winners in the first leg. And they've been disciplined, determined, and kept...
Liverpool.